work night maintenance at St. Jude Memorial Hospital in upstate New York back in 2014. It wasn't a big hospital. 3 floors, 2 wings, and 1 long hallway everyone called the spine. I took the job because it paid decently, and honestly, I liked the quiet. Night shifts had a strange calm to them. Just the hum of fluorescent lights, the distant tick of a wall clock, and that sterile hospital smell that never really leaves. Most nights, I'd see maybe 1 or 2 nurses, a security guard, and the occasional patient wandering out of bed. But the East Wing? That part had been shut down since the summer. Renovation issues, they said. No lights, no patients, no reason to go there. One night, around 2:45 a.m., the lights flickered. Just once. The generator hummed. Everything went back to normal. I didn't think much of it until I looked at the elevator status screen near the janitor's closet. The East Wing elevator, the one that was supposed to be completely offline, was showing in use. 3rd floor. I called security, thinking maybe one of the contractors had snuck in, but the guard on duty said all external doors were locked tight. He asked me to check it out since I was closest. I grabbed my flashlight and headed toward the East Wing. The moment I stepped past that red renovation zone tape, the temperature dropped. You could feel the difference, like stepping from summer into an empty freezer. My footsteps echoed down the hallway. Halfway through, I noticed the faint outline of wet footprints on the floor, leading away from the elevator. Bare feet. The print stopped outside room 313. The door was slightly open. On it, an old plastic label still hung. Patient care, restricted. I pushed it open slowly. Inside, everything was covered in white sheets. Furniture, beds, even the monitors, like the room was frozen in time. But in the far corner, a faint green light blinked. A heart monitor. Still on. Still beeping. That made no sense. The power to that had been cut months ago. I went closer. The screen flickered with weak static, but every few seconds, it pulsed. Beep, 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 like it was picking up a faint heartbeat. I looked down at the plug. It wasn't connected to anything. Just then, I heard breathing. Slow, steady, coming from behind the curtain next to me. My throat went dry. I tried to call out, "Hello? Anyone here?" But the words barely left my mouth. No answer. The breathing stopped. I gripped the curtain and pulled it aside. There was no one there. Just the imprint of a body on the bed. The sheets slightly sunken, the pillow pressed in, as if someone had just been lying there seconds ago. I stumbled back, heart racing. The monitor flatlined. One long, continuous tone. I turned to leave, but the hallway lights outside flickered violently, casting the shadows in strange directions. And then, something moved past the door. A shape. Not walking. Just there. And gone. By the time I made it back to the elevator, my hands were shaking so bad I could barely hit the call button. The doors opened instantly, though I never pressed anything. Inside, the elevator floor was wet, like someone had just stepped out. I went straight to the control room and checked the maintenance log. The system showed the East Wing elevator had moved at exactly 3:13 a.m. from the 3rd floor to the basement. Now, the basement at St. Jude wasn't for patients. It was where they kept old records, wheelchairs, and medical waste. Nobody had a reason to go there, especially at night. The guard and I went down together, but when the doors opened, the air was freezing. Our breath came out in mist. The lights buzzed and flickered weakly. There were no footprints, no movement, no sound. Just the faint smell of antiseptic and something metallic, like dried blood. In the corner, half buried under a tarp, we found an old hospital gurney. On its rusted clipboard was a faded tag, Patient 313, time of death, 3:13 a.m., 1998. We left. Of us said a word. The next day, I asked the nurse about room 313. She looked confused, then uneasy. She told me that room didn't exist anymore. It had been sealed off and renumbered years ago after a fire in the East Wing. A nurse had supposedly died trying to save a patient during an evacuation. Both were found near that same elevator. A few weeks later, I quit. I told myself it was because of the night hours, but honestly, it was that wing. Because even now, every few months, I get a call from my old coworkers saying the elevator light turns on by itself again. Always at 3:13 a.m. Always to the basement. No one ever sees anyone there. But the next morning, they always find wet footprints leading straight to room 313. A room that hasn't officially existed for over 20 years.